What's going on, guys? Thanks for jumping in on this video. For the free stock, go ahead and click the link in the description to get off of Robinhood, which crashes all the time, as we saw, to get off of any other program that doesn't update as fast as Webull does. That's where you should be trading. And turn this down a little bit. Wanted to go over with you guys today a little bit of answer some questions that I've been getting a lot, and a lot of people saying, hey, it's today the day they have to cover, the short's going to cover, the squeeze happening tomorrow, what's going on with this? And let me try and explain to you how shorts work and why you can never know the day that they have to cover exactly and when the squeeze is going to happen. When someone shorts a stock, there is no date of expiration on that they have to cover their short position, right? So they can continue to roll over the short, and by that pay the interest to the market maker, the person who they are borrowing the shares from to short them, right? And we went over what short selling is in a different video, so you can go and watch that back a few videos ago and explain it. And so anyways, they don't have to cover on any specific date. As long as they can continue to pay the interest to the market maker and the premium to be able to own the shares and short them, then they can just keep rolling them over and keep going. Now, what gets people in the hole is, say, up in here, they bought GameStop thinking it's going to drop down, and it goes up to here. Now they're in the hole a bunch where they had to cover, and so it gets to the point where how much can you cover how much in your account do you have to cover? If you only got $10,000, of leftover money in your account, to make it real simple, and the share price gets to the point where you're past that $10,000 left in your account, right? It's going to cost more than $10,000 to cover your short. Then the market maker, the trading platform, whatever you're on, but the market maker is going to either do a margin call, right? And you're going to have to cover, or if you're trading, options, but it works the same way, or they're just going to have to start liquidating your assets, other shares you have. So here's a pretty cool, or I put it all together this afternoon talking with Cody and Brady about how this all worked. So when GameStop launched up, we saw a dip in the rest of the market and a lot of other places, and it's likely because a lot of the major hedge funds were getting so far in the hole with the market makers that in order to continue to roll over their shorts or have the extra cash on hand to cover their short positions, they had to liquidate lots of other positions, and that's why the whole rest of the market took a small dip. And so they used that money to be able to continue to either roll over their shorts or cover and take a loss. That also explains why Melvin Capital had to take a $2.7 billion loan or get help from another group. And it's either because they doubled down, up at the top here, and you guys can't see that. Oops. Either they doubled down here, like up at the top, in the 400s, 300s area, and if they did so and they really doubled down with that and rode this back down, they're fine. They've made their profit back, and they can continue to roll over shorts. But if they didn't, they would have to use that money to just cover the position because they're running out of cash to be able to cover that. They don't have enough because their position was so big, and so that's why they needed $2.7 billion to either double down and make it back and pay them back, or to just cover their position and get out and for a huge loss. And we don't know which one it was. Just don't know. So everyone's saying, oh, and if they double down on it, that would make sense as to why the short data is still showing, there's over 100% short shares shorted or short interest available. It's over 100%. But those numbers are from a little bit ago, and we don't know how accurate they actually are. But that's the way it would work. So there's no telling, if it's going to squeeze, if it's going to happen. This is it. This isn't it. This is the day they have to cover it. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. If it worked that way, like it does in options where we know expiration dates, I think it would be manipulated a lot more and played a lot differently. So hopefully that makes sense. For AMC and GameStop, we just don't really know. We don't really know. Are they going to continue? Are they going to come up? We did see, and today my charts are not glitched, so I apologize for that yesterday. We did see, in fact, it did put in this resistance here just about at the 90, 92 level in the 80s. high 80s, low 90s. So that's positive. We did see downside in after hours though, down to 89. Right, so right in here, right at the resistance, excuse me, the support. So we'll see what happens. GameStop and AMC. I thought AMC was going to get a little bit of a breakout today. I did trade them a bit. Let's take a look at what we want for the rest of the market coming into tomorrow. All right, so first off, something we should look at, two things. Sunworks and we're going to do a grid chart. And here we're going to go Renisol. Oops. And looks like here we're on the daily. Here we want the daily as well. Let's see, we need to change that to the daily. Actually, we'll just look at them both, I guess. I don't know why it's not giving me a daily option here. Sunworks chart, right? Took a hard hit on this dip with GameStop and we're pushing back strong. We were on fire up into almost 30. So in here, either shares up into the 30s or calls up into the 30s big time. SOL is not SOL. In fact, it's just a really similar chart. As you can see here, ripping, took a big dip. We're gonna push back up. Again, shares are into the 30s or calls into the mid 30s, even to the 40s. This has a lot of room to go. So those are two things I've got on watch. I'm probably gonna be playing as well. Okay, as far as today goes with big action, LIZI, holy smokes, 2 days, gap up. We see a decrease in after hours. It was pretty strong. We're gonna be looking for, follow through on this tomorrow. The volume is huge. So LIZI for tomorrow. We're gonna look at, IPOF finally came through, Social Capital again. This guy's got plenty of SPACs. If you don't know a lot about that, you can go look it up. We are up into 1689, which is above this. We broke resistance in after hours on talks. Big news that things are happening. They're figuring out who they're going to merge with, and this is going to gap tomorrow for sure. I don't think you can play options yet. It hasn't been on the market long enough. It's still in SPAC phase, but for shares, definitely. And watch for a push up into the the 20s. Mid 20s, even low 30s, depending on how much energy it gets behind it. Some of these SPACs we saw go even higher than that. It's a big one. On the opposite end of things, two positions that we could be looking to short. Or not short, but play puts on short if you like. If you're into that kind of thing. I'm not. So Sava, right? Casanova Sciences, and this is what they close into the day. If we take a look at the minute chart. This thing screamed in after hours. Boom, all the way up to 130s. We close at 121. Just massive moves. Big short or big sell-off here at the end into this candle. 2000 in volume. The candles before 1000, 2000, 2400, and breaks below this resistance here or support here, which had been hit 1, 2, 3, 4. Breaks at 5, not very strong times. It's the end sell-off, so we could see continuation tomorrow. If not, I don't think we will. Probably looking to play the downside on this puts into this area in here in the 50s, 60s is a good play, in my opinion. Apple talks about AAPL. Apple and talks about an electric car again, and wham, they launch up to 136 in after hours. Right? Actually, they went to 138 in after hours on a big jump. So into these levels in here, probably going to gap in the morning again. Worth trading for sure. Calls into the 140s, and those calls are relatively cheap. All things considered, they kind of trade in the same range as the SPY. As far as penny stocks go, Sundial held solid right up in here. Not a lot of movement today, but I'm looking for probably a break. If we can break this 136 mark, it's awesome. And another one, NAKD. And again, not a huge fan of these penny stocks, but when they're moving solid charts like this, I'm in. I mean, we came into here, we're holding the middle of the breakout candle, which is solid, and we start to see green. Could be coming up. The buy volume is higher than the sell volume in the previous day. Big indicator. And let's see what else we got here. Okay, the XRT. This is an interesting one. Look at this. massive jumps up to 24, and then today we come all the way down to 985. Like, whoa, dump and a half. Looking for a bounce play, or if short interest continues, it's down another almost 4% after hours. So we're gonna be watching that for sure. And I don't know if this will pull up or not, but I looked at, yes it will. So depending on the platform you're on, this isn't going to be a tradable asset, but this is Global Battery Metals. It speaks for itself. You know, this is going to be with EV sector flying hot. These guys are going to be big competitors. And if we look at like a weekly chart even, this is just wild on the weekly. Let's scroll way out. I haven't seen any movements like this since it started all the way back in 2018. We pushed up to the 56 in here. Been getting beat up. Not a lot of movement with the EV sector heating up. This thing's starting to heat up as well. So in here we're in the 60s, 0.063, so 6 cents, and now we're into the 60-cent mark. So congratulations to those who've been holding this. Wow. And so that's kind of what I've got today, guys. Probably going to see gaps in the SPY tomorrow. I imagine the SPY is going to hit 385 by the end of the week. Like I had said, we come in here strong on the day. That's the weekly chart. Psych. We did come in strong on the day. Push up, we ended red, but all the way up here into the 380s, held above the close of the day before. So we're looking, I'd bet you into the 384s tomorrow if we get a strong day. It is going to be a Thursday, so that's usually the last power day of the week. Then we'll see a sell-off into Friday. I probably won't cover anything tomorrow or Friday, maybe a small video, but I'm going to be out of town. So looking at the SPY tomorrow as well, and then Tesla, you know, watch for those parabolic end of week moves that always happen. Again, guys, hope you're enjoying the videos, and if you got any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments. Feel free to send me a DM, text me if you got my number, share the video with your friends, family. If you want the free stock, links in the description, and happy trading. See you at the bell.